All right, we're gonna do a quicker topic. I don't think this topic fits in with a lot of other ones, but the gay community, it's Pride Month, and they're really that it should be called Shame Month at this point because they're just making a fucking fool out of themselves. They decided that, or maybe it's not the entire community if they want to call themselves one, but look at it this way. If you really love LGBTQ people, you just can't keep eating Chick-fil-A. Now, I want to make something clear. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A not because I have any problem with it. It's that I do keep kosher laws to the extent that I don't eat like meat that's not kosher. So nothing against Chick-fil-A. I can't eat it, so I'll just have to assume it's good, and I have no problem with people eating it. So if they're not, if you don't have any problem with that, go ahead and eat it. Not my problem. Everybody that I know though loves Chick-fil-A. Anybody that eats out, eats fast food, whatever it is, they say it is amazing. I wouldn't know. I do make fried chicken myself, so I can certainly respect a good chicken sandwich. I think people that want Chick-fil-A to be kind of used as a wedge issue, they're gonna be disappointed when people vote with their mouths, basically. So let's read through some of this. I think from what I know, it's supposedly like a pretty long article, but whatever. When I was growing up, there were few things as exciting to me as a trip to the Regency Mall in Racine, Wisconsin for lunch at Chick-fil-A. My family didn't have much money then, so eating out was a rare treat. But when the trip included waffle fries and ingenious food so alien to southern Wisconsin in the early 80s that they seemed to like small, salty miracles to my tiny, still soft mind. Yeah, it's still pretty soft now. It was almost too much for me to take. Still, as delicious as the Georgia-based company's fried foods were, they weren't my only weakness as a kid. When I wasn't fantasizing about Greece, I was spending my young swishy days doing a really shitty job of hiding. He says his insatiable hunger for other boys. He said he's not the kind of kid that doesn't go unnoticed. It wasn't until he escapes to college he finally began to accept who and what he was. Once he did, he vowed to never let anyone make him feel like he was less than them simply because he lusted after and loved other men. So you can imagine how upsetting it was for me when Chick-fil-A's president Dan Cathy proudly came out as a homophobe in 2012 by claiming we are inviting God's judgment on our nation, and we shake our fist at him and say we know better than you as to what constitutes a marriage. And I pray God's mercy on our generation that has such a prideful, arrogant attitude to think that we have the audacity to define what marriage is about. Even worse, the company puts up its money where Kathy's vile mouth was. But you're talking about somebody else having a vile mouth, knowing what you put in there, bro, who is donating millions of dollars each year to anti-LGBTQ organizations via its WindShape nonprofit organization. As disappointed as I was to learn the chain I had loved as a child was working to make my life and the lives of my fellow queers a living hell, he was heartened by the swift response from the queer community and its supporters. For several years, the only time you'd catch an LGBTQ person or an ally at Chick-fil-A was for a protest. And then something changed. For some reason I still don't fully understand. Some queer people and their friends and family began eating at Chick-fil-A again and are still eating there because people like chicken sandwiches. I'd venture a guess that Kathy's somewhat conciliatory yet ridiculously inadequate non-apology and the company's totally bogus promise to stop donating to anti-LGBTQ groups, while it may have ceased funding some groups, it's certainly still bankrolling others, may have made some people feel justified in returning to the chain. I think people go there because they want to have lunch, and I don't think that that's really something. That's not a battle. There's a time to fight, and then there's a time to eat. And I think people's moods change according to which one which time is the more pressing one. People can be disturbingly indignant and defiant when faced with giving up their beloved chicken sandwiches. It says, so when Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey was called out earlier this week for tweeting about eating at Chick-fil-A during Pride Month, I was shocked to see how many queer people and their allies not only didn't care, but went out of their way to defend the fast food chain. Yeah, because they like chicken sandwiches. Excuses I've heard for continuing to eat at Chick-fil-A range from a nonchalant dismissal of the issue, as in the grand scheme of things, eating there isn't really that big of a deal and we have bigger problems to worry about, to an all-or-nothing paradigm. I can't possibly avoid all the problematic companies out there, so why should I worry about this one? 2, a simple admittance that the siren song of the company's kitchen has proven impossible to ignore. I know I shouldn't eat there, but it's just too good not to. To all of these flimsy accusations, I'd say bullshit. If you care about queer people or you yourself are queer, you have absolutely no business eating at Chick-fil-A ever. It's really that straightforward. If you're arguing that there are other, arguably bigger fish, or in this case, chicken to fry, you may not be wrong. However, I think you're underestimating my and probably your ability to be angry about and take action against more than one target at once. Just because Chick-fil-A may not be as bad in your view as the Trump administration or countless other folks or corporations, that doesn't mean we shouldn't challenge Chick-fil-A on its anti-queer stance while continuing to call out and work against other offensive and or dangerous entities. Any effort or energy you dedicate to not filling Chick-fil-A's queer-phobic coffers does not compromise your ability to simultaneously do the same with other opponents. Surely, like me, you have enough and are sadly constantly generating more outrage to spread around whenever and wherever it may be needed. If you're arguing that virtually every company doing business today is problematic in one way or another, you're not wrong there either. If you want to find other anti-queer culprits, check out the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index. When a corporation is wafting its, so they basically have a list of companies that they believe are not. So this is how the gay people, they've gone full on Jesse Jackson. It's like people literally have to bow to their every whim or bend over to them. But when a corporation is wafting its anti-queer stance directly under your nose, as Chick-fil-A has and continues to do, not giving them more money to use against us is a no-brainer. I'm not saying that in order to be a good person or ensure you don't support despicable businesses, you have to hermetically seal yourself inside your home and only eat food you've hydroponically grown and only wear clothes you've woven on a loom built using recycled popsicle sticks and the stickier variety of body fluids you have handy. I'm saying that when you know a company is anti-queer and this guy is making like the least logical pitch for what he's trying to get people to hate chicken sandwiches by using the most cartoonish and irrational points possible, You shouldn't support them no matter how delicious a reason you can order up. Yeah, I know. It sucks that we can't have waffle fries, but it sucks even more not having equal rights and contributing to the profits. Chick-fil-A, I'll tell you what. There's nothing Chick-fil-A is doing that is changing whether anybody has equal rights or not. They're contributing money to a cause. So therefore, when people are saying, okay, boycott Chick-fil-A because of that, it's up to people to decide whether they really think a chicken sandwich, not buying a chicken sandwich is going to contribute to them losing their rights or not. Am I saying Chick-fil-A and everybody who works for it is evil? Of course not. The corporation has done a lot of good and even donated food to volunteers giving blood in the wake of the Pulse nightclub massacre, though ironically most gay men weren't allowed to participate in that charitable effort. But none of it, they're not allowed to participate in it because you can't donate blood if you have HIV or hepatitis. I mean, what are you, is this person taking crazy pills? I think that's what it was. I didn't even see this before. It's because, what do you want? So that's not up to Chick-fil-A. It's up to the idiots who have STDs. Okay? You don't donate blood if you have a fucking STD. You know, it used to be that you would call it VD, venereal disease. I wonder what happened to that one. Let me see here. Jeffrey's back, and so is Arjun. Welcome, guys. Let me pop this chat out just to make sure that you guys are... you can't eat non-kosher food, and I'm the one trolled for not eating beef. That's some BS. Yeah, everybody I know. I mean, Jeff, you agree with me. Literally every person I know who's eating at ChickFilA says it's amazing. And I'm not saying that because, again, I can't eat there. I can't eat at Taco Bell either. But you know, I used to be, we used to be non-religious when I lived with my mom, and we'd eat Taco Bell, and it would be like, sometimes it was okay. Sometimes you'd pretty much, you were in for a wild ride the next day. But the Chick-fil-A people, I've heard, rave reviews ever since it got really big. But none of its generosity changes the fact that the chain has taken and continues to take an anti-queer stance and still contributes large sums of money to anti-queer groups. Ultimately, if you're going out of your way to find a reason to continue to patronize Chick-fil-A, you might want to examine why you need to expend so much energy to do so. No one likes to hear that they're doing something wrong or that they can't have something that brings them immense pleasure. You mean like a chicken sandwich? You're an evil person if you buy that chicken sandwich. That's basically their position. But that's exactly what I'm telling you. It's time to choose where your loyalties lie, with your community or with your stomach. I'm hoping you can find another restaurant to satiate your chicken sandwich cravings. If all else fails, there's always this recipe to make a copycat version of the Chick-fil-A. Oh, no shit. No shit. At home. I am gonna steal this recipe. So I do like chicken sandwich, and I can, if I have if I can get some kosher chicken breasts, I'm gonna make one of these. I don't care. Sorry, Chick-fil-A, but I don't have your. I can't have your back on this, but I am gonna steal this recipe. Sure, it won't be exactly the same, but it's pretty damn close, and I promise it'll go down a whole lot easier without all that nasty queer phobia you've been ingesting. Let me see here. So there were all these comments here, and it says Chick-fil-A, Hobby Lobby, In-N-Out, and others that proclaim a religious anti-anything stance are off my list of places where my money goes. First of all, Hobby Lobby is, I think, in only a couple of states. So don't even worry. Perseus Gold is here. He says Popeyes is the best anyway. Rice and beans and biscuit side is the best combo anywhere for spicy chicken. Some people have said that there's this one branch out of Louisiana that's amazing. Not Popeyes though. It was Raging something. I forgot. I'm sick of these useless protests. If they ever worked, they would only hurt the people who work for the various companies. They're trying to feed their families and pay their bills. The legislators are where the anger and resistance should reside. So this person, the biggest, this is like the classic straw man argument. It doesn't get more straw man than this. It says, so are you going to begin shopping at the Mike Pence store? No, because this person is already saying that he would like to focus on legislators and, politicians. He says legislators, but I'm assuming you could extrapolate that he means the vice president too. So this person's saying, well, then if Mike Pence had a store, would you start shopping there? Well, if you read what he actually wrote, he's saying no, he would not. These people are such idiots. Maryland. Well, this person says I'm a vegetarian, but even if I wasn't, I wouldn't eat there. Also, I don't go to Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and Jimmy John's. I know my list will be getting longer and longer. Jimmy John's, by the way, is a sandwich outlet. They're actually not, you know. I mean, they just sell sandwiches. What the hell does anybody care? What else? This guy, he trolls her. He says, "Why not know how to tell if someone is a vegetarian? Because they will come out and say it. And soon you'll have nowhere to go. Have fun with that." Then somebody says, "Me too. Can't drive a car by these ridiculous standards." And then somebody says, "Me too. This isn't about Harvey Weinstein." It says, "I have heard that Chick-fil-A pays its workers better than some fast food places, but they wouldn't probably hire friends of mine. So I'm happy to say that I've never been inside the Hobby Lobby of fast food." Classic virtue signaling here. Perseus Gold says, "I've never understood the controversy around boycotts. Let people boycott what they want. I don't have to agree with them. People ought not to be forced to spend their money where they don't want." This is, look, there has been a boycott on Chick-fil-A for several years. What this author is taking issue with is that there are plenty of gay people who are saying they don't care anymore and they're not going to boycott Chick-fil-A. They just want to have lunch, during, maybe they have a break at work and, the mall is close to them. They drive to Chick-fil-A, buy the fries and the chicken sandwich, and go back to work. It doesn't make them stop being gay, I guess. It's not like they put chemicals in Chick-fil-A sandwiches that make you get a hard-on when you see a photo of Carmen Electra, right? If anybody wants to, test that theory, we're gonna, just share this video feed right now with any, gay person you know. And you know what she does? She actually doesn't look that hot. Let's go for what's that other chick's name? Yeah, this one. So eat it. Make your gay friend eat a chicken sandwich, and see if they check their pants if they're you see kind of the pitching a tent while they're looking at photos of this, while watching my video, of course. That's how you know. I mean, does Chick-fil-A have a pernicious issue with let's see. We need something more powerful than that. Yeah. So that Chick-fil-A theory, you can pretty much test that pretty easily now. I remember Carmen Electra from Meet the Spartans. I don't think Carmen Electra wants to remember Meet the Spartans. I heard it. I mean, that was one of the worst movies ever, from what I heard. Jeffrey says, "If Mike Pence sold kick-ass chicken sandwiches, I'd buy one. Jimmy John's is my favorite." Yeah. I tell people, if there's a place I hate, that's a store or any business, it's either because the owner is personally an asshole to me, or that they make shitty things, or that they sell, they screw you over. This is this is a joke. This is the way that identity groups really lose sympathy, because they attack things that nobody cares about. The Prince of Queens channel talks a lot about the lesbian-led LGBT lobby is losing control of gay men as a voting bloc. I would say that there's plenty of lesbians that don't care for this stuff either anymore. The fact of the matter is that, first of all, this guy who wrote the article is a gay dude, which is, my personal conviction is this. If you're gay, I don't think that we should legally be attacking you using the government. I also don't think you have a right to complain if people make fun of you for being gay. People make fun of everybody people make fun of my glasses. Am I supposed to sue people for doing that? People make fun of the fact that, I'm overweight. People make fun of the fact that, I also, that I'm super cheap. what am I supposed to do? Change myself in order to conform to the way society wants, or attack the other people, make them change their views by force in order to, basically it's basically you're trying to use the law and you're trying to use coercive tactics. I mean, this boycott is not necessarily coercive if you let people choose whether to eat the chicken sandwich or not. But if you're telling people you're a bad person if you're eating at ChickFilA, you're basically using shame tactics in order to. That's the opposite of Pride Month. It's no longer about pride for their community, which I've always thought it's ridiculous to have a community based around something so stupid as this. But it's now about shaming everybody else and shaming the people within the community that won't conform to its dictates. Dictates, man. That's what they. It's all about dictates right now with the gay community. Jeff says, here's something I found funny. When the gay community tried to boycott Chick-fil-A here a couple years ago, I swear people were lined up for a mile to buy chicken sandwiches to go against the gays. Yes, Jeff is in Kansas, I believe, and it wasn't only in Kansas. It was around, I don't know about Ohio. We don't have that many Chick-fil-A's here. We do have a few, and there probably are more since I last remember seeing one. But there were people everywhere eating tons of chicken sandwiches from there. And it just basically serves as great advertising for them when you have this ridiculous boycott. Perseus Gold says, I hate boutique clothing stores. They priced half the stores I liked out of the mall a long time ago. So yeah, there is this recipe. I will try it. I just, I'm not against Chick-fil-A. I'm just saying, I can't have it. So I am going to try to make these. And then, this isn't what I was looking for. This reminds me of that. There was a fake article in Huffington Post a couple years ago by a person named Shelley Garland called "Could It Be Time to Deny White Men the Franchise?" And I actually recorded a video back then. And I didn't release it because I was like, this could be a fake. And it turned out to be a fake. And then I did delete the video that I did make. And, the Huffington Post continues to be basically, it's basically Rolling Stone, but with, a gimp suit. They're basically the gay version of Rolling Stone, even though Rolling Stone is itself kind of gay. RG says, I boycott places for ideological reasons. There's nothing wrong with that. I stopped going to a certain mall near me because too many Muslims frequent that place. Well, that's your choice, bro. I don't care. I personally don't care if anybody shops anywhere, but I will make fun of people for it. And then you have Dave Rubin, who has that show, the Rubin Report. He says, hi, I'm Dave. I'm married to a dude. I eat chicken sandwiches whenever I want. He's just trolling them, the fuck out of them. You see all these all these reactions. People are like, that you can't. It says, I trust Chick-fil-A so much that I don't even check my bag. And if they get my order wrong, I just assume they know what's best for me. Except for the lemonade, that's not negotiable. I've also heard that. I've heard that their lemonade is amazing. Waffle fries dipped in hate. What's up, Pinochet? Yeah, we're talking chicken sandwiches today. Do you believe that if you eat the wrong chicken sandwich, Pinochet, it dooms you to gay hell? What would gay hell be like? Would it be, looking at the SI swimsuit? You're basically walking through this set. That would be, that's how they warn people now. They say, oh, if you eat a chicken sandwich, you're gonna die and go to this. Is that? Oh my Lord, is that? They should be really scared of that. So, Anyway, we're gonna talk later. Tonight there is gonna be 11 p.m. Eastern time. That's 8 p.m. Pacific. There will be an interview on the Hard News Network with the Mattis File people. I should have Adrian Lloyd on with me from Just My Stupid Opinion. We're going to have two delegates to the Democratic National Convention that were involved. Listen up, Perseus. I want you to let your people know. Two delegates from the Democratic National Convention smeared as dupes for the Russian government that threw the election against Hillary Clinton. They're going to be talking out. They're going to be talking on the air with Hard Bastard. And I want you guys, when you watch that stream tonight, I want you to tweet it out, share it, send it to your favorite YouTube creator who's involved in, politics. It could be Matt Christensen. It could be, who's another one? Tim Pool is one of my favorite ones. Could be Dave Rubin. It could be, there's a lot of people there that would be, good people to host it. David Harris, for example, I've contacted him before. You have a lot of people that will be interested. Even left-wing people, by the way. Jordan Jarretton, who is kind of, to be honest with you, he's kind of fell off. H.A. Goodman. I need you guys to look it up. So, first things go, it's 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific. Okay? Hard News or Hard Bastard channel. I think he can only stream on the Hard Bastard channel now. The YouTube basically zapped him for some sort of bullshit copyright rule. So yeah, let me know. When it goes live, tweet it out. It's a very important story. It's called the Mattis File. It should be, in the description to this video. You should already see basically a link to it. In fact, I'll just send you. Oh, look at what we have here. It's gay hell again. Yeah, you eat a chicken sandwich, you go, you die and you see. That's basically what he was saying in that article. It's like, people can eat whatever fucking sandwich they want. Just let people choose between what they want to do and what you think is right. Yeah, absolutely, Perseus. That would help a lot. I know that you're a fan of his channel too, and I don't know if you have a channel as well. I'll take a look, but you could probably just discuss it. It's really important for the people we're talking about. Arjun says, who all are going to participate in the stream on Hard Bastard? So it's going to be, first of all, Adrian Lloyd did an undercover call to John Mattis, who is a reporter who propagated this fake news story about Russian trolls infiltrating Bernie Sanders, supporting Facebook groups. Okay, so Adrian Lloyd is one person. There's myself. I discovered the issue to begin with when I did this article over here. Here's part one. And then there's going to be Josephine Perulli and Jim Boydston, who are those are two people. I had a channel and it's down now. Well, that sucks. You're free to join it. If you want to come live stream one day, you're free to come. I always wondered a little about, some of the people who get their channels banned. I had Alicia Clegg on, who had her own channel that was banned, or it was banned from live streaming for a while. Those aren't the fingers. What does he mean? And then, yeah, so there's going to be those two people, two Bernie Sanders delegates, and possibly a third person from the group who documented most of the issues with them. Pinochet, yeah, I do want you to reach out to AJ. I've been messaging him. He's ignored everything. This is something he would really like as a story. Send him the, click the link, above. Send him that story. Send it to him by either email or on Twitter or anything. Just do whatever you can. And that's about it. I'll talk to you guys later. And if you, I'm warning you guys, if you eat those chicken sandwiches, they'll send you to swimsuit hell.